On January 15, 2025, First Amendment Protection Agency uploaded a video to their YouTube channel featuring one of the most bizarrely unsettling police interactions I've seen in some time. While conducting an audit from the public sidewalk outside a local bank, he does his best to educate various Karens, Darrens, and predictably ignorant staff members. There's some cambacks, a middle finger, all standard stuff so far. Then this cop arrives, and the mood takes a darker turn. This officer exhibits some exceedingly creepy mannerisms, most notably a smug, fixed grin that does not waver. He also proves to be a tyrant, refusing to identify, using intimidation tactics, and enforcing his ego, all while the creep factor continues to rise. This unsettling smiling tactic is something many of us have seen before in audit videos. In fact, it immediately reminded me of two other encounters, which we'll also be discussing shortly. This video really got me thinking, what's going on in the mind of someone who behaves like this? I checked the comments section to see if others felt the same, and sure enough, viewers were describing the officer as deranged, psychopathic, dangerous, you name it. But I wanted to dig deeper. What drives this kind of behavior? What's the psychology behind it? In this video, we'll explore the inner workings of an unstable mind and seek to uncover the answer to one question: what's behind that sinister smile?
Let's put a smile on that face.
Studying these behaviors became an increasingly dark and troubling process. What seemed like simple interactions often conceal something far more insidious. And the closer you look, the more chilling patterns start to emerge. Now, I'm no psychologist, not even close. I just have a penchant for going down strange rabbit holes. Everything stated here is purely conjecture and for entertainment purposes only. That said, what I uncovered was both fascinating and disturbing. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. To paint a clearer picture, we need to briefly go back in time. Johnny 5-0 really needs no introduction. He's an OG auditor, and as far as I'm concerned, deserves a Lifetime Achievement Award. He's not as active these days, but binge watching his older content is always a blast. On this particular evening, Johnny stumbled upon some gang activity in the form of a questionably constitutional Dewey checkpoint.
Flashlight right in the fucking face, look at that shit.
He exposes some of their violations and actually compels them to comply with the law.
I guarantee you somebody's gonna say something about medical information here. They're that dumb.
We have people having medical stuff being done. Can you just not film over right there? All their other stuff.
No, I'm gonna film everything I can see in public. Bring their private information in private, Sergeant. You know better than that. How long have you been on the force? Look at that. Isn't that a beauty? He shut all the laptops. They're bringing all the private information in private.
Next, witness a masterclass in de-escalation and professionalism from this distinguished officer.
You're trying to bait us into a debate. We're not going to debate. I'm not going to debate it.
Boy, you are a dumb motherfucker. You know that?
Say profanity. That's good.
You're a dumb motherfucker.
All right. Now we're done.
No, you're a...
All right.
No, we were already done,
okay,
bitch.
Have a good night.
We were already done,
have
bitch.
A good night.
We were already done, bitch. You're the lead officer here and you don't know how to protect their private medical information? Get the out of here, dude.
Are you challenging me to a fight or something?
No,
learn
how to obey.
Me,
learn to obey the law, dude. Honor your oath and obey the law. That's all that the people are asking.
So you're challenging me to fight?
No, I'm not. You're a fucking idiot.
What do you want to do?
I want you to comply with the law. That's not that's protected speech,
all right,
you douche.
We're done.
We were already done when you told me to shut off my camera, you.
And finally, the main star walks in.
Here's where Detective Winter shows up for the first time and is deeply disturbed by my presence. He asks everybody who I am.
Yeah, that guy is super triggered, the fucking creepy guy who just showed up. What's going on, officer? I was doing okay until Hammett came up and tried to wax philosophic on HIPAA laws, and then Lieutenant Hom doubled down and said that I was violating HIPAA laws. They definitely want me out of here. That's so unfortunate.
Can I get your name, sir?
My name is Detective Winter.
Detective Winter? Okay. Do you have a serial number as well?
I do. 38875.
38875, thanks.
My name is Detective Winter.
Detective Winter? Okay. Do you have a serial number as well?
I do. 38875.
38875, thanks. Are you disturbed by my presence here?
No, I prefer that you not stand behind me when I'm working there, but...
Okay. It seemed like you were disturbed by my presence.
I mean, other than the fact that somebody's standing behind me when I'm trying to work.
Well, you get to choose wherever you stand. I mean,
Within reason.
I mean, so yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. I'll take creepy for 1,000, Alex. I didn't give it. No. You'll see this though.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely Norman Bates right there. Definitely Norman Bates.
People always mean well. They cluck their thick tongues and shake their heads and suggest oh so very delicately.
They say reality is stranger than fiction, but sometimes it's hard to tell the difference. Detective Winter, like the season,
My name is Detective Winter. Like the season.
doesn't just resemble Norman Bates. He feels like the embodiment of that same uncanny charm, polite on the surface, but beneath it, something feels unnatural. His smile is forced, fleeting, and hollow. It doesn't say, "I'm here to help." It says, "I Googled how to smile convincingly before leaving the house." It's not warm, it's not threatening, it's just there, like a placeholder for real emotion. His eye contact is intense and unwavering. It doesn't feel like communication, it feels like surveillance. Pair that with the hollow smile, and you're left with an expression that's performative and disconnected, like a mask that doesn't quite fit. This creates an uncanny valley effect, where everything seems just human enough to function, but unnatural enough to be deeply unsettling. Something is wrong, and your brain knows it before you do. His tone, on the other hand, is surprisingly gentle, almost soothing.
No, I prefer that you not stand behind me when I'm working there, but
Okay.
thank you.
Okay.
But the softness feels out of place, especially when combined with his rigid posture and piercing gaze. It creates a kind of cognitive dissonance, an unnerving effect that leaves you unsure of his intentions. When Winter first approached, he stopped listening and hilariously walked away mid-sentence. This could suggest discomfort, a lack of interest, or just a complete inability to navigate normal social interactions. When we see him again, he walks right past Johnny, clearly avoiding interaction. His demeanor comes across as shy or perhaps socially awkward. It's not the behavior of someone trying to flex authority or intimidate. It feels more like someone trying to fade into the background, unnoticed. Lastly, there are these bizarre pauses in his speech.
Do you have a serial number as well?
I do. 38875.
38875, thanks.
It's like he's buffering mid-conversation, trying to process how humans are supposed to respond. Speaking of mimicking human emotions to blend into society,
People fake a lot of human interactions, but I feel like I fake them all, and I fake them very well.
Dexter famously struggled to feel genuine human emotions. A central theme of the show was masking one's true self behind a carefully constructed facade. Any outward expression, like a smile, wasn't a natural reaction, but a learned behavior designed to conceal his darker tendencies. Because sometimes, the most unsettling thing about a person is the mask they choose to wear.
That guy was creepy as fuck. Detective Winter, like the season. I'd like to do some ground penetrating radar in his backyard.
I feel like true crime fans would have picked up on this right away, but this is genius. Johnny is referring, of course, to the imaging technology that can scan for objects underground without digging. It's also a forensic investigative tool, often used to locate makeshift burial sites and human remains. I'm not saying it's necessary here, but I'm also not saying it.
I'd like to do some ground penetrating radar in his backyard.
I love this so much. It's one of the greatest things ever said in an audit video, just behind "trespass these nuts."
Trespass these nuts.
Listen, I've met some creepy cops in my fucking life, and there has been none creepier than fucking Detective Winter.
Next, we follow along with KCA as he conducts an audit at City Hall. Our featured smiler, Nathan Klein, stands fittingly behind a glass enclosure.
Not at the moment. How's your day going though?
It's fine, sir.
Great.
Predictably, a confrontation ensues over public versus private spaces, escalating into a standoff with ignorance on full display. His creepy, unwavering grin masks a slew of passive-aggressive behaviors and contradictions, making him a bizarre and frustrating figure.
This is the public area.
Okay.
If you have an appointment with someone, then this is the private areas for people doing appointments.
You can call the authority and they'll educate you, sir.
I ask you not to film me. There's a private meeting here, sir. You have no right to film that private meeting.
I'm in public.
No, this is a private meeting here, sir.
Uh-huh.
I can call security.
Go ahead, call security. Come on, we can educate you again, man. I'm here to educate. That's what this is for, education. Because we understand that government employees don't understand. You don't want me to record you, but you're a public employee.
I'm asking you to not record me.
Okay, you can just go back over there.
You can be a jerk and record me if you want. But I'm asking you as your neighbor not to record me.
I'm doing my job.
I'm doing my job.
Okay, I'm doing my job.
I asked you to come over here to the public area, sir.
I'm in public.
It's a private meeting here, sir. You have no right to film. Please leave the private area. I'm asking you.
This is public. Again, you guys, just for everybody that's seeing, I came through this door. This is a public office. It do a complete circle. So when you come in, there's no signs. There's no signs. You can point your camera anywhere. So when I come in that front door, if it's a meeting in there, I can record that meeting.
If it's a public meeting.
No, if it's a private meeting.
No, you have no right to walk into a private meeting.
Mr. Nathan Klein.
Yes, sir, at your service.
At a glance, Nathan seems polite enough. You almost wouldn't notice the darkness lurking just beneath the surface. But then there's the smile.
I'm just smiling at you and offering to help you.
You called the police on me.
It's creepy and unwavering. This forced, cheerful expression, paired with his frustrated remarks, is a contradiction. Our brains expect facial expressions to match tone, and when they don't, it creates a sense of unease. But the smile isn't just a quirk. In his mind, it gives him control. If he's smiling, he's in charge. He's not rattled. He's winning the interaction. And that lets him get away with something else. Passive aggression.
You can be a jerk and record me if you want.
The hostility is clearly there, hidden behind a mask of politeness. The mask also gives him plausible deniability, making it easier to paint KCA as the aggressor if things escalate. But watch what happens when the mask slips.
Please leave the private area. I'm asking you. Please leave.
This momentary break in the act tells us something important. The smiling facade requires conscious effort to maintain. When he's triggered, the mask flickers, revealing what's actually underneath: frustration. And he's quick to reset, forcing the smile back into place. Because the moment it drops, it exposes everything. Security arrives, and Nathan suddenly becomes animated and expressive as he pleads his case. His hand movements, arm gestures, and sudden urgency suggest that he now feels pressure to convince an audience. In other words, he's seeking validation from an authority figure. Since he can't legally back up his claims, he exaggerates the situation with body language, using physicality to make up for a lack of substance. When people lack solid arguments, they overcompensate, they over-explain, they get louder, they become more desperate for validation. And for the first time, you can see it. Nathan doesn't just want to be right, he needs someone else to agree with him. Because if they don't, then what was the point of all of this? Anyway, security knows KCA is in the right, and there is nothing to enforce here, and so begins a lengthy, ego-driven standoff. Nathan continues to block the view of the so-called private meeting, even though the people inside don't seem to care, and I'm pretty sure the meeting itself is already over at this point.
They're not even in the meeting no more. You can't even see nothing.
He sticks to his passive-aggressive script.
Wasting your time and my time, then, aren't you?
Hey.
You got nothing to do but waste time, don't you?
I'm working.
Well, then I guess you're wasting the people's money to have me have to stand in the way of this private meeting so that you can't. So you're not.
No one told you to do. No one told you to do that.
You're wasting the citizens' money.
I would have been gone.
I will continue to protect privacy.
That's fine. That's fine.
From your intrusion.
Intrusion.
I'm waiting to get back to work for the citizens of Kansas City, Missouri.
Nobody's keeping you up.
I think someone is.
All right.
I know someone is.
This is classic blame shifting. He's not just standing here out of ego. He's standing here because KCA is making him do it. At least that's what he wants us to believe. KCA even offers a simple compromise.
Once you leave, I'll leave.
I'm protecting this private meeting from your intrusion, sir.
Once you go to your desk, I'll leave.
I'll go to my desk when you stop filming this private meeting.
Okay, we might have a standoff then, man. You know what I'm saying?
But Nathan won't budge, because at this point, standing here is all he has left. He's lost control over the situation, but in his mind, as long as he keeps standing there, he's still in control of something. Not for logic, not even for the phone ringing at his desk.
He just don't learn. I think his phone is even ringing. He don't care. He don't care. Y'all hear his phone ringing?
Nathan isn't just stuck in the standoff. He's trapped by the sunk cost fallacy. He's not standing here because he's right. He's standing here because he's already in too deep to back down. And through all of it, every dig, every excuse, every moment of unnecessary escalation, his expression never changes. That eerie fixed smile remains. Because at this point, it's not about the meeting. It's not about privacy. It's not even about KCA. It's about ego. It's about control. And it's about not losing, even when there's nothing left to win. You know, this guy Nathan Klein really reminded me of someone, and for the longest time I couldn't place it. And then it hit me. In the 1992 action film Falling Down, Michael Douglas pops into a Whammy Burger and tries to order some breakfast, and this happens.
Yes, sir. I'd like some breakfast. We stop serving breakfast at 11:30. You have to order something from the lunch menu. I'm really sorry.
Hey, I'm really sorry too.
Get a gun!
Now, I don't suggest doing this inside City Hall, no matter how tempting the thought might be. And this is about where we came in, right? Norwood, Massachusetts, where these cop-calling banker babes snitched on FAPA, who were just going to call Johnny, not to be confused with Johnny 5-0. Whereas Detective Winter's smile was emotionless and uncanny, a detached social malfunction, and Nathan's was a mask to hide real emotion, the cop we're about to meet has a weaponized smile. It's an active tool of manipulation and control. There's a lot more happening in this interaction than it seems at first, much of it beneath the surface. We'll break it down as we go, focusing on the tyrant cop's mindset and why his calculated behavior is so dangerous.
Did you call the police? Oh, why?
Because it's my right.
I'm terrified of these guys.
No, you're not.
Yeah, yeah. He's got a gun and a
like
badge. You're calling somebody with a gun, an armed police officer, because somebody's out here on a phone.
I got a gun, but you know something? Is it out of its holster? Is it pointed at you right now?
Well, why are you stepping up to me talking?
Because
like
I
that,
like
bro?
you.
Because you
why.
like me. Good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I like you too. What's your name and badge
Good.
number?
We don't go by badge numbers.
What is it? Computer number, ID number? What is it? Don't play semantics.
You ask me nicely, I'll try to help you.
Don't play semantics with me, dude. Don't.
If you're going to talk to me, you talk to me with respect
No.
and learn some manners, Sonny.
No, Sonny. Go f yourself. Don't
You're
tell me what
dismissed.
to do.
Bye. See how you're going to talk to me?
Yeah, sure. Sure is.
Okay, well, I can't help you, son.
Good for
I
you.
hope you need a cop someday. We'll see if they come.
Me too.
A whole lot just happened in those 45 seconds. First, the tyrant cop, who we're just going to call the tyrant, takes 5 deliberate steps toward Johnny. Closing the gap is a standard intimidation tactic used to dominate, invade personal space, or provoke a reaction. It also makes going hands-on much easier.
Well, why are you stepping up to me talking?
Because I like you. That's
you
why.
like me. Good.
Yeah.
The first clear sign that this guy is a master manipulator, the grin, the artificial warmth in his tone. This is weaponized politeness, a power move disguised as friendliness. He's reframing the interaction, positioning himself as the reasonable one, while making Johnny seem rude for not playing along.
If you're going to talk to me, you talk to me with respect and learn some manners, Sonny.
No, Sonny.
This isn't about manners, it's about control. The tyrant acts like a parent scolding a child, and now his ego starts to show. Demanding respect is inappropriate in the first place, but using it as a bargaining chip just to get his name is unbecoming of a police officer. Finally, the smug little wave. It's dismissive, taunting, a subtle power move that says, I'm in charge here, not you.
You try to make me mad, you're wasting your time.
Dude, I don't understand why me sitting here, you think that I'm trying to make you mad.
The tyrant is already mad and continues to escalate. This is projection. By suggesting Johnny is provoking him, he shifts the blame, implying that if there's tension, it's Johnny's fault. It's an easy way for him to justify his own hostility while avoiding responsibility for it.
Dude, I don't understand why me sitting here, you think that I'm trying to make you mad.
Because I know your type.
You know my type?
Yeah.
Well, I know your type.
Okay. I'm glad you do.
Good.
Hope you get my good side.
12 full seconds of nothing but a dead stare. This isn't just awkward silence. It's intimidation, a control move, designed to exert pressure without saying a word, hoping the target will crack. But it's the tyrant who cracks first.
Hope you get my good side.
When intimidation fails, deflect with sarcasm. He tries this silent stare tactic at least 2 more times, and it's some of the more unsettling parts of the video. But when he still doesn't get the reaction he wants, he makes up his mind to retaliate. Next, he starts playing to his audience.
He's a YouTuber. He's trying to make a fast buck off YouTube. That's all it is. Just trying to aggravate everybody and aggravate me and other police officers. I know he does.
They always say auditors are the ones doing the baiting, And yet look at what's happening here. The tyrant raises his voice just enough to make sure Johnny hears it. These aren't just casual remarks. It's a calculated provocation. Because if Johnny takes the bait, reacts defensively or emotionally, then suddenly the tyrant has ammo. Johnny does react, but I wouldn't call it taking the bait.
Citizen exercising his rights is trying to aggravate people. There you go, buddy.
His response is sarcastic but measured.
Well, there you go, buddy.
I've heard that. Okay.
That's his confirmation. He wanted Johnny to react to it, just so he has something, anything, as an excuse to escalate, which is exactly what he does next.
Where's the property line stop, by the way?
I would say you're on the property.
Oh, you're on the property. You need to get on the sidewalk now, son. Step back, please.
You just literally stepped up to me. Why are you going to put your face in my face right now, dude?
I'm not in your
What's
face.
What's your issue? What is your issue?
You need to step off the property right now.
Okay, where's the property line, buddy?
Where does it stop, ma'am? Right where you're standing. There you go. Attaboy.
Good job. Does that make you happy?
Yeah, very happy.
All right.
The cop finds an opportunity to exert control, to retaliate, and seizes it. The smile vanishes. He closes the distance so aggressively that Johnny's camera is nearly blocked. The tone shifts from fake friendliness to raw authority.
You need to step off the property right now.
Okay.
And yet he doesn't even know where the property line is.
Where does it stop, ma'am?
He's enforcing something he doesn't even understand. And then the moment Johnny takes a single step back, the grin is back.
There you go. Attaboy.
That's not just smug, it's infantilizing. It's something you say to a child or a dog to reward obedience. The shift in tone is instant. The anger is gone. The condescension is in full effect because now he's back in control.
Does that make you happy?
Yeah, very happy.
All right.
The smile snaps back into place because he thinks he's won. Game over.
Does intimidation usually work on people?
If I were trying to intimidate you, you'd know it.
No, yeah, I'm sure.
You would, believe me.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
The implications of this are terrifying. That's not hypothetical, that's past tense. This isn't just a power trip in the moment. It suggests a history, a career built on bullying, threatening, and victimizing people, making people comply, not because they had to, but because they were afraid not to. This is also clear retaliation. The moment Johnny didn't fall in line, didn't show respect, didn't take the bait, this was always going to escalate. A cop like this doesn't just walk away empty-handed. If you don't bow down to his authority, he'll find another way to make you pay. And if this is how he acts on camera, imagine what happens when there isn't one.
Standing there smiling at you. How is this intimidating?
Me too. It's not.
Okay.
That's why I was asking you if it usually tries to work. If it usually works on people.
I'm not trying to intimidate you. That's the catch.
A key moment indicating this cop isn't just an abuser of power. He's a master manipulator. This is gaslighting. He's pretending that smiling equals friendliness. Therefore, intimidation is impossible. But we just watched him use his smile as a weapon to mock, to gloat, to assert dominance. This isn't just denial. It's an attempt to rewrite reality. Because if he can convince you that what you're seeing isn't real, then he can get away with anything.
I actually treat people pretty well, you know. And I've actually tried to talk to you like a human being, but you did not doing a very good job treating me with the same respect.
How did you start this interaction?
You walked up to me.
Yeah.
And you very rudely asked me my name and badge number, and I would have given it to you if you asked me nicely.
Yeah. Well, why are you stepping up to me talking?
Because I like you.
That's
why.
Like me. Good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I like you too. What's your name and badge
Good.
number?
We don't go by badge number.
So much for that. The tyrant's false memory of the initial interaction reveals several key psychological tendencies at play. First, he sees what he expects to see. He's already convinced that auditors are antagonistic, so when Johnny asks for his name and badge number, his brain fills in the blanks. This reinforces his bias and justifies his hostility in his own mind. By his logic, if Johnny wasn't actually rude, then the tyrant had no reason to withhold his name. That would mean his behavior was unjustified from the start. His ego won't allow that, so instead, his mind rewrites history. If he believes Johnny was rude, it justifies making him earn his name and badge number. To the tyrant, respect means submission, and anything less is disrespect. Johnny didn't immediately submit, so now he's an opponent. Ironically, the only one actually being rude is the tyrant himself, yet he externalizes that rudeness onto Johnny, a perfect excuse to withhold, condescend, and escalate. And that's exactly what he does. After some more ridiculous back and forth about asking nicely,
and if you ask me nicely, I'll give it to you.
I don't have to ask you nicely.
Yeah, I say you do.
The tyrant finally provides his name. This is followed by another cold stare down, the longest one yet. A second unit arrives, because when no crime is being committed, you gotta call in for reinforcements. This guy proves to be a tyrant too, shrugging off Johnny and also refusing to identify. The tyrant resumes his stare down, but at this point he's just stalling. He's had plenty of time to walk away, but instead, more intimidation tactics, more of the same games. And when that doesn't work, he reaches into the grab bag of standard cop cliches.
So what's the problem here?
What do you think the problem is?
I don't see a problem. That's why I asked you.
How would you feel if someone was waving a cell phone around when you're in a bank, or if you were a bank manager?
Yeah.
Someone was walking up to the door waving a camera around. How do they know you're not scoping out the bank for an armed robbery?
Scoping out the bank for an armed robbery.
He confirms what we knew all along. He's feelings enforcement, not law enforcement.
What's your YouTube?
It's First Amendment Protection Agency.
First Amendment Protection.
I travel all over the country.
I can't wait to see if you win that lawsuit. The end of sorta. Would you get quaffed? Continue without a finding, as we say in Massachusetts?
No, it was dismissed. It was dropped.
Dismissed.
The next day, and the chief resigned.
No, really?
Oh, really?
Yes, I think I've seen you before.
There you go.
You can actually see the moment everything changes for this guy. It's subtle, but it's there.
And the chief resigned.
No, really?
It signals the beginning of the end. The tyrant no longer sees Johnny as just another target he can bully, but as someone who actually has the power to hold police accountable.
I told you to get off the property, you didn't listen. What am I
I told
supposed
you to
do?
go yourself and you didn't listen. How about that?
I don't take orders from you, that's why.
Well, you're going to in a couple minutes.
Oh, am I? How's that?
Yeah, because I'm going to dismiss you in a couple minutes.
Oh, you're going to dismiss me?
Oh, I am.
Oh, I can't wait to see you try that.
All right.
The tyrant scoffs at the notion of being dismissed, as all tyrants do. We'll see who's right in a minute. In a final desperate attempt to save face, he tries roping his partner into his dumb, childish games.
You ready? Yeah, I didn't see any stripes on his sleeves there. He says he's going to, quote, dismiss us. I didn't think he had the authority to do that.
But his partner wants none of it. He just wants to get the hell out of there. Now the tyrant stands there alone, looking ridiculous, with the long, slow realization that this game is almost over. He looks forlornly down the block, as if hoping the other cop will change his mind, but he's long gone, and we get the satisfying walk of shame. Driving away, he still needs to get the last word, because of course he does.
All right, you're dismissed, buddy.
Because if he can't win, he can at least pretend he's in on the joke. The tyrant does a drive of shame, knowing full well he's lost. And just like that, the smile is gone. Game over. This interaction was never about the law. From the very beginning, the tyrant wasn't enforcing anything. He was just reacting to Johnny's camera, to his own assumptions, reacting to his bias. The cop already had a story in his head before he ever stepped out of the car. Everything the tyrant did, the taunting, the intimidation, the retaliation, all of it was shaped by his own preconceptions. And that's the real danger here, because when cops like this have already decided you're the problem, they've already decided the outcome as well. And that's why these interactions matter, because every single time a cop like this gets exposed, it chips away at their ability to do it again. And sometimes, the best way to win is to keep the camera rolling and let them lose all on their own. We started this journey with a simple question: what's behind that sinister smile? And after analyzing 3 very different personalities, I think we have our answer. Winter's smile, empty, devoid of human emotion, a mask for something unknowable. Nathan's smile, a desperate performance, a fragile illusion of control that cracks under pressure. The tyrant smile, a weapon, designed to manipulate, provoke, and dominate. 3 smiles, 3 disturbing interactions, 1 universal truth. A smile isn't always what it seems. Sometimes the creepiest thing a person can do is weaponize a smile. And if that thought makes you uncomfortable, congratulations, you're still human. Thanks for watching this video. I'm curious to know your thoughts on these 3 creepy tyrants. Maybe you have a different analysis than mine. All links will be in the description. Please go over and subscribe to the auditors' channels and show them your support. Thanks again. This is Showcase Audits. Until next time, know your rights. I'm out.